Welcome to Kitchen 5's France cooking demonstration. Today we will be making some tartiflette and French flourless cake, chocolate cake.
Alright, first we have to start off by washing our hands. Get a nice scrub-a-dub-dub in there.
Now preheat your oven to 350. You're gonna take your medium yellow onion, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna slice off the ends. And take off the first layer, first couple of layers. You know, just to get to the good stuff. After you've got the first layer of your onion off, we are going to cut it into forks. Onions are one of the many crops that France produces, and France uses 3/5 of their land for agriculture and farming. And now, we're going to chop it up with this little guy. But if you don't have one of those, you can do it by hand. Just do that with all of it.
Now peel your 2.5 pounds of potatoes and make sure to get all of the skin off.
When you're ready to cut your potatoes, slice your potatoes, you're gonna take your potato, cut it in half long ways. And then you're gonna take each half, if you have a potato slicer, you can use this. You put it in there, like that. Turn it on. And then you got yourself some nice sliced potatoes. Alright, you're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter or grease, whichever one you prefer, and you're going to grease up the bottom of this. This butter's a little bit soft, so it helps spread it out a little bit. I'm just going to line the bottom of that with some butter. This is for when you're going to bake the whole casserole together. Like that. I just, instead of using a knife, I just held onto the plastic part and rubbed the butter on there. Keep it nice. If you don't have to use all of it, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But there we go. It'll look sort of like that. Okay, you're gonna want to put your stove onto medium heat for this, and then you're gonna place the bacon in the pan to cook. Normally in France you would go to the butcher and get a slab of bacon, but in America that's just not as normal. So we just got some already cut bacon for this. It'll work the same. It'll just be a little bit thinner.
Yeah. This would be a nice dinner meal in France. For breakfast they usually have food, mostly like pastries. They don't cook much. And so this would be perfect for dinner when they have their meats, because it's a big deal. It's really coming together. You're gonna want to get it like perfectly, a little more than golden brown, just really crispy. But be careful because it might spray you, like so. Alright, so you're gonna let that cook on the other side. Okay. This is a good meal for dinner because the French don't snack, unlike Americans who snack often. And they all come together, and it's a late dinner around 7:30 or 8:30 usually. So they're usually pretty hungry, and they all get together. It's really just a fun time. Okay, so the bacon is basically done. You're gonna take it off, and then careful with the grease, and then put it on paper towels so it doesn't get everywhere. It's okay if the bacon's not totally all the way done yet, because it was gonna be cooked more when we put it all together with everything. So once you're done with this, be sure to wash your hands after handling the meat. And then turn your stove off. And perfect. So let that sit for a while and let the grease all go onto the paper towels.
Okay, so once you take the bacon out of the pan, you're gonna put in the onions to saute them. Get all of those in there. The onions we chopped earlier. And then you can turn it down a little bit if it's a little too high. Gonna cook it right in that bacon grease to help keep in the flavors from the onions. Just move it around. You're gonna cook it for about 7 to 9 minutes until they look pretty seared.
Sautéing is one of the French cooking techniques that is commonly used, as well as flambeing, which is where you add alcohol to a dish and then light it on fire, and the alcohol burns away immediately.
Okay, once you have your onions nice and sauteed, when they're pretty kind of golden brown, not as white as they were before, then you can add your 1/2 cup of the dried white wine. You're gonna pour that on in there. And then you're gonna reduce the heat a little bit. And you want it to start to come to a boil, like it's doing right now. That'll help. This is help keeping all the flavors in. Wine is really popular in France because of the excellent climate. It's good for growing grapes, and they have lots of vineyards all around France, especially in the climate areas with a lot of rain. So you're gonna keep this going and turn it up a little bit after the first sear, so that you want it to be boiling, and it should boil for like 2 minutes or so. And then
The oceanic climate covers most of France, which is the moderate rainfall, and it has mild summers and winters, but still has all the seasons. And the rainfall really helps with the vineyards. And right before we add the potatoes to the rest of the dish, we're going to drain them because they've been sitting in water so they don't turn brown. Potatoes are in a lot of French meals. So we're just gonna get all of the potatoes in there, all of the water out. Quick shakeroo of the potatoes. And we're gonna add this to the rest of the dish. Let's get some. Alright.
I'm gonna want to pour that in here. I'll help her out with that.
Get all the potatoes in there.
Make sure you are using a larger pan for this so that all the potatoes fit. This will take a little while because there's so many potatoes. Gotta break that up. All right, you just want to add as much salt as you need for taste, and a little bit of pepper also. That's about right.
Okay, so these potatoes are looking really good, really brown and tender, as you can see. They're tender.
Wow.
So what we're gonna do here is we are going to take only half of the potatoes and put them into our 2-quart sized dish that is buttered or greased. Just layer that in there because we're gonna have a second layer too, and also a layer of cheese and bacon. That placement. starting to look good.
After you have your potatoes all layered, well, half of them, you're gonna take the cheese. Here we have Brie cheese. You buy it in a little triangle. It's a very, very soft cheese, as you see. Usually it's used with Reblochon cheese, which is a French cheese. It's quite stinky, but it's harder to find here in America, so a good substitute for that is Brie because it's also very soft. So what you have to do is you have to unwrap it and then take off the rind, which is this part. It's not very edible. So you just want the insides, and then once you take those off, you just have to be really careful and you just scrape it on in there. Soft smiles for soft cheese.
Cheesy facts, Kitchen 5. Fact number 1, France is known for its soft cheeses such as Brie and Camembert.
Fact number 2, Saint Nectaire is known as the king of cheeses.
Fact number 3. There are more than 1,000 types of French cheese.
Fact number 4, in the 19th century, cheese was looked at as masculine, and men ate it while smoking and drinking brandy.
Fact number 5. France is the cheese capital of the world.
Fact number 6, milk used to be made into cheese by beating it with branches, pressing it into stone, then leaving it out in the sun to dry.
Fact number 7, France has a system that protects the authenticity of all cheeses.
Fact number 8. Brie cheese is known as the queen cheese. Alright, now you're going to put the rest of that bacon on top of there once you have the cheese on the last layer. Like that. Get that on there. Make sure you try to evenly put that on there. Alright, now that we have that, we're going to put this in the oven and bake it for 25 minutes. Open it up. Put it in that one. Looks good. You're gonna put that in there. That's not right. Alright. There we go.
Woo! 25 minutes!
Let's go.
While that's in the oven, we're gonna pull our sleeves up here and wash some dishes. Hey, Quab,
Yeah?
don't the French not like using spoons?
They don't use spoons.
That's interesting.
Ah. They have a lot of weird eating habits, don't they,
They
Vic?
do.
Yeah.
They use a lot of the same tools and pans that we use, though.
Yes, but they also have very small portions, but very, very big flavors.
Big flavors, small
Big-
portions.
Yes,
France.
big flavors, small portions, no spoons.
Looks delicious. I'm gonna turn that oven off. Look at that. Looky there.
Close up on that.
Whoa! Yes.
Ah.
All right, let's. Look at that nice French-sized portion for dinner.
Oh, now I can eat because the hostess has joined me at the table.
Bon appetit.
Should we talk about business, maybe?
No, not business. We never talk about business at the family table. Let's talk about